Well, like I was saying, challenging. Okay, now, about now, a lot of you probably wondering, well, what? Hey, where's all them animals and stuff? Well, just relax. Now they're coming. But first, I just needed to explain a little bit more about, well, what's going on inside old Noah's head. You see, Noah believes that these bad dreams he's been having are a sign from God that, well, something terrible is on the horizon. Now, we've all had ugly dreams, right? Well, these dreams, they're the kind that wake you up in a cold sweat, and the kind that you'll keep on thinking about for days on end. Well, in fact, it is God that's visiting these dreams on Noah, but not for the reasons you might be thinking. Now, whenever a person gets preoccupied, with something unusual that's going on in their life, well, hey, they might be prone to do some crazy things. But Noah, well, he didn't need an excuse to be peculiar. He is already that way. You can ask anybody in town. Well, anyway, Noah, he's always had this compulsion for boats. Now, that isn't odd, other than the fact that the Belong River, well, it's hardly the intercoastal waterway. Hey, it's hardly even a trickle of a stream. But for the last 3 years, he's been building this giant boat in his backyard. And now he's even attached his house to it. Okay? Well, as you can imagine, the neighbors, they're getting suspicious. And the revenuers, they're just smelling a tax opportunity.
Hey, Ned, what's with the ugly barn?
That's not a barn, Pete.
Looks like a barn to me, but different and ugly.
Hey, Ned, what's inside the different ugly barn?
Well, Finest, you'll see soon enough.
Come on, Ned. Tell us what the different ugly barn is supposed to do.
Well, Clartis, it floats.
Well, whoever heard of a floating different ugly barn?
Well, it not only floats, it hauls critters too.
Well, whoever heard of a different ugly floating critter hauling barn?
Well, Pete, this here different ugly floating critter hauling barn, it's called an ark. And someday, it just might save your bacon.
Hey, Ma! Can you pass the bacon?
Sure, darling.
And the eggs? And the milk?
All that boy does is eat.
Word? Well, honey, he's just growing. Use your fork. Don't you remember when you were that age?
When I was your age, we didn't have time to eat breakfast. We was up at the crack of dawn feeding the chickens, milking the cows, rounding up the pigs and slop, gathering up. All right, you three, that'll be enough of that. There's a lot to do today. Jeremiah, I need you to come with me up into the hills. We're going to need more timber.
Dad, are you really going to finish that boat? People are starting to talk, and how are we going to move it to a river big enough to float it?
I'll worry about that. You just help me cut the timbers. Daniel, your mama needs a bunch of things from town. She'll make a list for you to pick up. And don't you be hanging around with all them boys from the backside of the holler. All they'll do is get you in trouble. Josiah, I have a special task for you. Oh, come on now, boy. I need you to gather 2 of every kind of critter